Hey Bailey, this is your assignment review. It looks like you made some really great progress, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to check it out from the side, and hopefully I will not forget to check it out from the front. Sorry if the leaf blower is being picked up in the mic. There's nothing I can do about that, sadly. But yeah, so this is cool. I'm going to just try to isolate one cycle. Um, I think maybe here. Let me see. Yeah, cool. That looks good. So one of the things I feel like I'm kind of missing is a little bit more. Look, okay, so big picture, this is looking really strong. I'm going to give you a round of notes. You can, hit those notes, but if you want to move on to the next thing, that's totally fine. I would advise you to hit those notes before you move on to the next thing, but if you're done, if you feel kind of like emotionally or mentally done working on this and want to move on to the next thing, I think it's totally appropriate. So I would say hit these notes. Like you've put a lot of work into this and it's looking like you're close. So I would take it all the way over the finish line and then, but start thinking about your next thing or start gathering materials. You can even submit um, your materials for the next thing, and maybe you don't have to submit this again. Um, but uh, but yeah, I would advise you to hit the notes and do it, especially now while you're in the headspace of doing this walk. Hit the notes and like really button it up. Um, I'll take a look at where everybody's at on this walk at like the end of the semester for grades and stuff like that. So so the notes will matter. But what I want to see, so this is looking great. Like I said, this is looking strong. But one of the things I would like to see is a little bit more extreme on the forward and back of how far the feet reach. Like I'd like to see that kind of a little bit more straight. So by moving the foot a little bit more forward, and the same is true here. I don't need to see the back leg like totally straight, but I think it looks a little unnatural that the character would be taking such short steps. So like increase the gait. Make this leg almost straight. You know what I mean? And this one can be straight, or when I say this one, I mean at this pose, it should be pretty darn straight. Um, if not 100%, like pretty close to 100%. Because otherwise, like the up and down is looking nice. I like your hip rotation. That's looking really nice. Um, yeah. So one of the things I'm noticing is there's a tiny hitch maybe in the spacing. Like that red foot, man, I'm watching that red foot translate forward and plant. Oh, that's great. But the blue foot, I noticed there's like a little spacing issue. Like if I'm tracking the ankle of the blue foot, it kind of stalls. So when I watch the left to right, screen left to right movement of it, it kind of stalls out in this kind of area here. If you see, I have ghosting turned on. If you see kind of like the spacing of all of those things, it kind of seems to stall out a little bit. So maybe by moving the foot controller more forward will help you with some of the spacing stuff there. Yeah, but it looks really nice. Like the red foot doesn't seem to have that going on. I'm just gonna check it. Yeah, that's much more smooth. But when I watch it, I see it on the blue foot. Like there's like a little hesitation or a wobble in that space. But when I watch the red ankle, I'm not seeing that at all. Okay, so moving on to the arms. It feels like there's this, I think I have one too many frames looping here for it to be smooth. So let me adjust. Ah, rats. Let's see how this plays. Yeah, better. Okay, so the only thing I'm noticing is there may be a little slight spacing improvement you can make, and this is real polishy, this is real nitpicky. on like the forearm, I noticed it on the red forearm in particular, where it seems really smooth and it's like flowing nicely, but then I think it just straightens. It straightens really quickly. So maybe that I'm drawing terribly and it's making me upset. But here it moves quickly through this part after it's been slow kind of through the middle part. So I see it more when I watch it play, where it feels like a little slow at the top and then it speeds through, and then it kind of doesn't have enough time to like change directions. So this is what I would suggest. In order to get that overlap feeling, you know what I mean? The arm, I would still have the arm, because the arm's like kind of straight by the time the upper arm hits its backmost pose. So what I want to see is it's still kind of like bent here. Maybe not as much as when I'm drawing it, but kind of like a bend here. It's still kind of bent here, but then as the forearm comes forward, that's when the bend starts to get eliminated till it's like straight around here. And that's going to give you a nice overlap and follow through action. I didn't draw this very well for you, but and then again, I would leave it more straight, not perfectly straight, but more straight as this upper arm is still kind of coming forward, but as the upper arm starts to come back, then this is when I would like increase the bend in it a little bit, kind of doing the overlap and follow through, showing that the hand has some like decent weight and is kind of pulling around on it. So whatever, those are really nitpicky notes. Another thing I would suggest is maybe adding a little rotation. I think it would probably be rotate X, but like up and down on the head, kind of with a little bit of overlap follow through, responding to what the body's doing. So it's like, how do I describe this? Yeah, like as the body goes up, it pulls the chin down, and then as the body goes down, the chin is gonna like float up a little bit. I don't know. So going back to the front part, the front view. Let's see, I need to isolate the loop here. Maybe something like this. We'll see. I won't be too exact with it. Yeah, so I didn't get the loop quite right. Maybe here. Oh, I'm close. Let's try here. Okay, that looks maybe like that's it. Yeah, cool. So what I would do is bring the arms like in closer to the body just to make it feel a little more natural, like with the arms out the way they are. It doesn't feel like a plausible, realistic walk. Another thing I would do is your hands are kind of like perfectly flat. So one of the things, if you could just get like a little bit of bend in the fingers, just a pose. You don't have to like animate in and out of the pose. But even if you can get the thumb, that way we'll get off of these like paddle hands and make it kind of like a more realistic looking hand. I think that'll serve you well. I think I have one too many frames in the loop, which is why there's like a little hitch. Yeah, cool. Cool. It feels maybe like I like when the body comes over here to the right. That kind of spacing and stuff seems cool. But I feel like it doesn't quite go as far over to the left. So maybe I'd push it just a little bit more to the left on that extreme. That again is a tiny nitpicky note, but overall I think you're super close to the finish line, and yeah, wrap it up. hit those notes if you can. I'll look at it as much as you want to show it, but I also want you to get started on your next thing, so your second assignment. So start submitting materials for your second assignment when it comes up, I guess. And I will hope you have a restful break, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, great stuff.